Hey, it's your favorite uncle, Uncle Gentleman, and today we're talking about shave brushes and all the different types you can have. There's a lot. We'll try to make it quick. Stay tuned. Okay, shave brushes. There are roughly four different types that are the most common. You have boar hair, you have horsehair, badger hair, and synthetic. Now I'll go over each type and go over the pros and cons and the different styles and the reason for them and what I like about each one. And we'll go from there. The first one we're going to talk about is boar hair. This is a boar hair brush. This one's probably as old as I am. This was my father's. Boar hair are one of the most common you can find. It's also often referred to as just a natural hair shave brush. You can find these in a lot of big box stores or department stores, that kind of stuff. Drugstores sometimes carry them. They're one of the most common you can find around. Boar hair is made from a boar, the hair of a boar. It usually has kind of this tan color to it, and it has not as good of water retention as some of the other ones, and it is a little firmer and a little rougher, but it does lather well, especially with hard soaps, and is fairly affordable, easy to find, and can be a really good quality brush. Okay, the second type I'm going to talk about is horsehair. Horsehair brush, here's an example here, is a little bit softer than boar hair. It's a little harder to find, a little less common. It used to be extremely common before World War One. Around World War One, there was an anthrax outbreak that affected a lot of horses, and it caused the sale of horsehair shave brushes to tank, and they never really recovered. You can still find horsehair brushes. They're a little harder to find. They're not that expensive. And the performance of the water retention is similar to a boar, but the bristles are a little bit softer. Also, one of the benefits of horsehair is you don't have to kill the animal. It's from where they groom the mane or the tail of horse, and it'll sometimes be a combination of both, or it could be just tail or mane hair, and that's what they make these brushes out of. So it's a little more humane. There have been reports of sometimes you can get one and it'll have like a funny or gamey smell to it at first, but if you clean it really good, wash it, usually that dissipates like after a week at the most. It's not that bad. Any of the like boar can also have a scent to it sometimes when you get it, an expensive one. Or the next one I'm going to talk about, which is badger. Badger is probably one of the most common shave brushes in use. Badger hair falls into three categories. There's the first one is called pure. If you see one that says pure badger hair, that's kind of the entry level of a badger brush. I'm pretty sure this one is a pure hair badger brush. Badger has pretty good water retention, a little better, a lot better than, say, boar or even horse, and it's very soft bristles. The second type is called best, or sometimes it's referred to as fine badger hair or super badger hair, but usually best is how it's known. This one, I believe, is a best barber style best badger hair brush. The third type I don't have an example of here, and it's called silver tip. This usually comes from the belly of the badger. It's a really soft spot. The hair is super soft, and you can tell because the bristles will be a little bit darker, but they're white or silver on top, and then it gets darker as it goes down. But you have to beware, because if you find one that's a really, really good price, it could be a scam. There were companies that were coloring the ends silver and were claiming they're silver tip when they're really just pure or best. But they're supposed to be super soft, super water retention, and great. But in my opinion, they're a little overpriced for what you get. The step up from a pure to a best is a pretty dramatic jump in water retention and softness. The jump from a best to a silver tip isn't that big of a difference, honestly. Not worth the money difference. You might find one out there that's just amazing, because most of them are handmade and everything, and they can be really luxurious, but you also pay a pretty penny for it. The last type I'm going to talk about is synthetic. Now, synthetic brushes, when you think about it, it's like, oh, that's going to be plasticky and everything. It's like, give it a chance. Several years ago, they were mostly made out of just nylon, real thin nylon strand, and they felt plasticky, and they didn't feel right on your face, and it was just strange. They would work, and the water retention was good, but it just wasn't quite right. The technology in recent years has been astounding, and now there's some that they make that can rival or even surpass most badger hair brushes as far as water retention, softness, and how it performs. This one here is one I use a lot. It actually sometimes retains too much water, and I have to wring it out a lot because it will make the soap too runny because it holds too much water in it, and I have to keep it a little drier. But they come in various styles. This one's pretty soft, but a smaller knot. Sizes of brushes are measured by, you'll see knot sizes and loft sizes. The knot is the circumference of it, the width in millimeters of the size of the base of where it's bundled together. The loft is the height of it in millimeters. And you can have some that have a more rounded bulb like this one, or this one's a little wider, a little flatter on top, and you can even have something like this horsehair one that's flat, almost completely on top. So the shapes are different. A bigger brush will give you better coverage on your face, but a smaller one will give you a little better control. Now the question is, which one would be my favorite? And the answer is all of them. The thing is it depends on what soap you're using. A really hard, firm soap, sometimes a really nice, soft badger hair brush that holds a lot of water won't lather well with it because it'll be really runny and it won't build up a good lather. Some hard soaps just don't work well with it, and you need something a little more firm, like a boar hair or horsehair or a hard synthetic, to get it to really break loose and build up a good lather. Whereas on the other hand, you could have a boar hair brush that's too firm and everything, and it can't build the lather right because if you have like a cream soap that doesn't need that much force to get it, if you work at it too much, it thins it out because it just can't build up a good lather. So your mileage may vary. All you can do is, if you have a brush that it feels like I can't get it to lather right, it could be the soap you're using. Try a different type. If you're using a puck, try a cream. If you're using a cream style, try a harder puck style soap, and it might make a big difference. Also, a lot of times adding more water or taking more water away can make a big difference in how it does. And you just have to work with it a little bit. And I know it seems like this would be like, oh, why should I bother? I can just spray out some Barbasol onto my hand and rub it in and don't have to worry about it. The difference in a soap put on with a brush, as far as how it feels on your skin, how your skin feels after you're done, it doesn't dry you out as much, and it just feels nice. And it can be a really big difference. And it's just so much better for your skin. The thing is like also after you get good at it, it doesn't take any longer to shave with a brush than it would to shave with foam in your hand and rubbing it in, because you can build up a lather fairly quickly when you know the routine that you have to do to build up a lather with the soap you're using. And then you can build it up really quick, put it on, and shave about as fast as you could if you were using a foam or gel type with your hands. It's also cleaner. You don't get your hands as messy. So that's about it. Go out and get you a shave brush, give it a shot, and see if you like it. And try it with different soaps. It can be a lot of fun. So that's all I got for today. So I'm Uncle Gentleman. Have a great day.